Hey, this game feels just like that movie. Wait a second. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be looking at the top 10 games that basically ripped off movies. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're taking a look at the games that took heavy inspiration from certain films. We're not saying that these games were bad for doing so, most of them are actually awesome, but this is just to be more informed about where these stories got their inspiration from. Number 10, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. For the sequel to Infinity Ward's insanely popular installment in the Call of Duty franchise, they took a little bit of inspiration from Michael Bay's The Rock. While the setup of a military-operated prison infiltration isn't new, the narrative beats the game hits along the way definitely come too close to ignore. Among the underwater approach to the prison, the ex-military villain who just wants respect for his men, a grizzled mentor from the UK, and even green flares to stop a bombing, there's seemingly endless similarities. The cementing detail, however, is the one scene where you're forced to fight enemies in a prison shower, virtually recreating the film's biggest turning point right down to the location. Number 9, God of War series. While Greek mythology is definitely public domain at this point, modern adaptations of Clash of the Titans and Jason and the Argonauts are definitely recent enough to remember, right? A man facing the force of the gods and even the gods themselves is the most obvious comparison, but smaller details bring the game even closer to the notable films. Kratos has epic sea voyages and fights countless hordes of demons just like Jason and Perseus before him. He goes on to encounter Medusa, an army of skeletons, and most notably, the Kraken in his long and blood-fueled tale of battling the gods.
Come down here and face me now, Zeus!
Number 8, Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Then we go down. Pay him a little visit, right? See how he's doing.
Sometimes it seems like game creators kinda sneak stuff into games after seeing a movie once, but this was definitely more a case of unbridled fandom. While the Grand Theft Auto creators were crafting this installment in the franchise, the film Scarface, a story of a random nobody becoming a criminal god, clearly resonated within their game.
I don't think we're gonna be getting any more heat from up north either. Cause there ain't no up north anymore.
Featuring several nods to the Babylon Club and Tony's Mansion, which itself includes security screens showing the real mansion, the deepest cut comes in the random apartment with a bloody shower and a chainsaw from the film's most gruesome scene. On top of the many visuals and settings lifted from the film, the final mission involves a climactic mansion shootout, much like Tony's last stand.
Say hello to my little friend!
Number 7, Uncharted series.
This looks safe.
Nathan Drake's stories over the years seem to have drawn so many inspirations that not even the Pixar films have remained sacred. Obviously, the Indiana Jones series is the biggest takeaway though. In fact, if it weren't for the different time periods, the two series could have been mistaken for each other, thanks to similar scenes of our hero hanging on to speeding trucks and unearthing mystical golden artifacts, definitely ringing bells. However, it's the almost identical scenes of love interests getting captured and the two's mirrored escapes from booby-trapped tombs that found Drake stealing more than just treasure in his games. Number 6, Halo Combat Evolved. Although they never seem to get along too well in films, Aliens and Predator inspired some of gaming's finest sci-fi series. Master Chief's first tale was a unique treasure of a story, but not without a lot of familiar moments along the way. Space Marines flying to a desolate planet? Check. Sassy Sergeant with a bird-like ship? Check. Invisible, blade-wielding super soldiers and their human-transforming counterparts? You get the idea, right? However, thanks to a great game design and many fresh creative choices, it was easy to forgive Bungie for such obvious parallels, even when scenes themselves were adapted.
Am I right, Marines? Sir, yes, sir! Damn right I am.
Number 5, Mass Effect 2.
I'm not going alone. I've got some of the best working with me. If we stick together, we'll make it.
Aping a film that's over 60 years old means you probably won't be the first person to do a retelling of a classic story, especially a classic like Seven Samurai. The BioWare team are known for making RPGs with some of the deepest and most fleshed out stories in gaming, but you don't get to be the best without knowing the best. Following Commander Shepard's mission to save the galaxy, the game finds him recruiting an unlikely gang of heroes from various backgrounds to fight the Collectors, retelling Akira Kurosawa's iconic samurai story in space, but with cool aliens. The game features enough unique lore and fun combat to freshen its take on the samurai epic, but there's still no denying its Japanese roots. Number 4, StarCraft.
I love you, Sarge.
The now famous strategy game by Blizzard Entertainment pushed the genre forward and brought some fun sci-fi along for the ride, but not without drawing heavy inspiration from James Cameron's Aliens. The game features space marines on a distant space colony, attacked by a manufactured alien race trying to harvest them. While the story moves beyond this setup, and the gameplay doesn't try to recreate the film scene by scene, there's enough quotes from familiar dropship pilots and similar cutscenes to reflect this homage.
We're in the pipe, 5 by 5. In the pipe, 5 by 5.
Number 3, Dead Rising.
The moratorium on information getting out is a little extreme, in my opinion.
And now the lawyers are getting involved. 2 years after this game's release, Capcom was faced with a lawsuit over the game's appropriation of Dawn of the Dead, and they went so far as to put disclaimers on the game's packaging. Both works follow survivors fighting off zombies in a mall, so it's not exactly rocket science to understand why someone would raise a stink.
You ready to roll?
Nevertheless, Capcom ended up winning the case, as the premise alone is too basic to hold any legal ground. Still, it goes to show that not everyone sees imitation as a form of flattery.
We should be safe in here.
Number 2, Max Payne. Imitating a movie is one thing, but cloning a director's trademark is a whole other level. Remedy Entertainment didn't focus on one film when making their game. Instead, they crafted it in the style of action director John Woo, pulling from his works as a whole. While obvious things like slow-motion bullet-time shootouts featuring dual pistols while jumping through the air is littered throughout the game, the writers even went into the realm of self-awareness here. Max dresses like several of Woo's characters in the game, and the developers even named one of their difficulties Hard-Boiled in a clear reference to the director. As if there was any doubt left, John Woo is even a password to a mobster's base in the game.
The password. John who?
Come on. Okay, John Woo.
Number 1, Mortal Kombat. For this arcade classic, one reference to Big Trouble in Little China definitely wasn't enough. Oh no. First off, there's the broad concept of mixing Asian mysticism with the Western world, with almost identical villains in evil sorcerers Lo Pan and Shang Tsung, respectively. Add to the fact that the protagonist is an all-American Jack Burton, or Johnny Cage in the game's case, along with his sidekick who could easily translate into Liu Kang. But the cherry on top here is Raiden, who not only bears the same lightning powers as one of the film's 3 storms, but even dresses the same, right down to the massive hats that both of them wear.
Raiden wins.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.